Good morning friends. I welcome you all to our channel Board and Beyond. This is the lecture number 1 on polynomials. That is, this is the first lecture on any subject matter in particular from me, okay, on polynomials. We have started the chapter polynomials for standard 10th, okay. So let's try to understand, my friends. First let's try to understand what is a polynomial, right? So if you see this word polynomial here on the top, this is made with two words, right? Poly and nomials, right? It's a Greek word. So poly means many, nomial means terms, right? So any expression in x which has got one or more than one term is called a polynomial, right? So this is from the layman's perspective, but let's try to understand how do we define a polynomial in mathematics, okay? So what is the mathematical representation of a polynomial, right friends? So let us say there is an expression by name f of x which is a0 x0 plus a1 x raised to power 1 plus a2 x raised to power 2, so on and so forth, an x raised to power n. Now let me first brief the terms to you, right? See all these friends, a0, a1, a2, a3, so on and so forth up to an, right? These terms are all constant, okay? And whatever you see, x raised to power 0, x raised to power 1, x raised to power 2, up to x raised to power n are all variables, okay? So since friends I have introduced a new term to you, constant and variable, okay? Let me briefly tell you what is a constant and what is a variable, okay? So what happens, friend, is that a constant is a value which does not change. It remains same, right? We are not supposed to change that. And variable is something which keeps on changing, right? Which keeps on varying. That is why it is called variable, right? So this is constant and variable. Sometimes a constant like 1, 2, 3, okay? And sometimes even constants are denoted by A, B, C, D, E, like that, okay? Which you will be very conversant enough in my next few lectures, okay? So now I'll just wrap it off, and then basically we will try to understand one more thing here. So friends, this expression of x, or this expression in x, is said to be a polynomial in variable x and of degree n, provided a n is not equal to 0. That means the coefficient of the last term of the variable, okay? It can be last or it can be first also. You can reverse it also. But let me make you understand. Coefficient of the highest degree of the variable cannot be equal to 0. Why? Because the moment you make the coefficient of the highest degree of the variable as 0, that term actually vanishes from there, and thereby it changes the degree of the polynomial. That is why it cannot be equal to 0. Please try to understand the concept behind it, right? So this is one condition. Second is your power, that is x raised to power n, okay? Power cannot be, power is equal to non-negative integer, right friends? Let me make you understand. So what I am trying to say here is that your power, that is 0, 1, 2, n, in general n, cannot should be equal to non-negative integer. That means x raised to power minus 1 is not a polynomial. Why? This is a negative integer, okay? Second, x raised to power half is not a polynomial because the half, that is basically fraction. It cannot be, it should be non-negative integer and cannot be fraction, no fraction. Fraction not allowed. Right? Because the moment you write raised to power half, 1 by x is not a polynomial. Right? Because if you take it up, it becomes x raised to power minus 1. So this and this is equal. Right? So you are understanding this? Okay. So I have introduced two terms here. One is coefficient, one degree of the polynomial. So let me explain that also. So friends, first degree. Okay. So the degree of the polynomial is the degree or the power of the variable, the highest power of the variable. You can consider it like this. The highest power of the variable of the expression is called the degree of the polynomial. Okay. Please mind it, highest power of the variable, not of the constant. Sometimes you will be given like this, x raised to power 2 plus a raised to power 4. What is the degree of this polynomial, friends? The polynomial of this is 2, not 4, because this is constant. You getting my point? Okay. So the highest power of the variable is called the degree of the polynomial. Now coming to the coefficient. Okay. Let's say you are given to find out minus 29 px. You are expected to find what is the coefficient of x. Although this questions will not appear, but the concept behind this will be very much used in the future coming lectures, or probably in this lecture as well. Okay. So coefficient, whenever we are talking about the coefficient of a variable, so that means in that term, apart from that variable, everything else including the sign. Please understand. So apart from x, everything else including the sign. Sign is very important, my friends. Please don't omit that. Okay. So minus 29p is the coefficient of x in this term. You getting? Okay. So let's move on. This was basically to give you a brief on the basics of the polynomial. Okay. Now see friends, we are learning polynomials. We are trying to learn. We are trying to put some efforts to it. But we should sincerely know, like, why is that we are putting efforts to it? Is that so important in life? Where do we use it in life? Right? How is that it is going to help us in future? Okay. So very small example. Let's say you are given a problem. There are two numbers. Sum of them is equal to 26. Sum is equal to 26 and product is equal to 168. Right, friends? So there are two numbers. The sum of those numbers are 26 and the product is 128. You are expected to find those two numbers. Right? You can do it by hit and trial methods also, but it consumes time. Okay? So let's try to do one thing. What do we do? Let's say one number is x. Then the second number will be, my friend, 26 minus x. Any problem in this? Because what I am trying to tell here is that, one second. Sorry. So what I am trying to tell here is that if one number is x and their sum is 26, so other number is 26 minus x. I hope this gone through your mind. Okay. So now product is 126. Let us multiply this, equate it to 168. Okay. So this leaves me with 26x. Right, friends? Minus x square minus 168 is equal to 0. Right? Multiplying with minus 1 across. So this 26 x square minus 26x plus 168 is equal to 0. Right? We try to factorize this. Now for factorization, what do? We multiply the first and the last term. Okay? Which leaves me with 168 x square. Right, friends? we try to break 168 into two parts such that either their sum or the difference is equal to minus 26. Okay? So let's break it like this. 14 and minus 12. See, if I multiply the two, I get 168, right? 14 to the 28, the remaining 2, 14 for the 28, 14, 168, right? Correct. So when we multiply this, I get this, and when we add this, I get minus 26. So I include x and x here. These are my two factors. Okay. So x square minus 14x minus 12x plus 168 is equal to 0. Right, friends? So taking x as common, x minus 14 minus 12 as common, x minus 14 is equal to 0. So x minus 12, x minus 14 is equal to 0. Now see, product of this term and this term is equal to 0, which signifies that both of them are zeros, right? So any one of them can also be equal to 0. So equating 1 by 1 to 0 gives me x is equal to 14 and x is equal to 12. So the two numbers are 14 and 12. So depending upon whichever we want to take it greater, we can take, right? So the two numbers are 14 and 12. The sum will be 26 and product will be 168. So this is how we are going to use polynomials in our future life, right? Or in our practical scenarios. So since we have understood the importance of a polynomial, what we did is that we got a quadratic polynomial, we found out the roots for the quadratic polynomial, and the roots are the basically solution for the problem, right? Now, since we have understood all this, let us try to understand, my friends, how polynomials are classified. Okay, what are the different classifications of the polynomial? So, my friends, polynomial are classified on two criteria basically. Criteria number 1, on the number of or on the degree of the polynomial. Criteria number 2, on the number of terms in that polynomial. We'll see one by one. Okay. So let me just divide this polynomial on degree of the polynomial. Okay. On number of terms. Right? So, I have already told you, my friend, what is the degree of the polynomial. So, the degree of the polynomial is the highest power of the variable in that expression is called the degree of the polynomial. Okay? So, the different classifications are linear, quadratic, cubic, biquadratic. Okay, so the linear polynomial, any polynomial of multiple terms, okay, which is having power of the variable as 1 is called linear, power of the variable 2, maximum I am talking about, is quadratic, maximum 3 power is cubic, maximum 4 power is biquadratic. Right, friends? So now coming on to the number of terms. A polynomial can have many number of terms. Okay. So coming on to the first one, we call it as monomial. Okay. So monomial is which has got power or the number of terms as 1. Okay. For example, 4x. This is monomial. Now binomial. Let's say 4x plus 4. This is a binomial. Yeah. 4 is also a term, my friend, because 4 can always be expressed as 4 into x raised to power 0. I hope you are understanding this concept, right? So 4 is also one term, right? Binomial, then trinomial. Trinomial, let us say 4x square plus 2x plus 3. This is trinomial because 3 terms. And beyond trinomial, all are polynomial in general. Okay, so we will not go into that. So basically, you have understood the different classifications of the polynomial as well, my friends. Okay, so let's move further. Now, value of a polynomial at a given point. What do you mean by value of a polynomial at a given point? So, when we write f of x, okay, some expression. So, what happens is, like, what will be the value of, let's say, f of x at point 3? For example, we will take a very simple this thing. F of x, let's say, is equal to 4x plus 2, my friends. Very simple, very easy. We'll just try to understand the concept here, okay? We are not going to make it more difficult for us as of now. So, I want to know what will be the value of this f of x at point 3. That means at x is equal to 3, right? So, what do we do? F of 3 is equal to, we just replace x by 3. Which gives me 12 plus 2, that is 14. So we say that the value of this polynomial at x is equal to 3 is 14. You got my point? This is called a value of a polynomial at a particular given point. Right, friends? So since we have understood the value of a polynomial, let us try and understand the zeros of a polynomial or the roots of a polynomial. Okay. Now, let's say a zero of a polynomial. We take f of x is equal to 2x square minus x, okay, minus 1. This is given to us and we are expected to find the zero of a polynomial. Since I have said zero of a polynomial, let me first give you the brief concept what is the zero of a polynomial. Any polynomial in degree x, okay, for any particular point x, if the entire polynomial becomes 0, the value of the polynomial becomes 0, then that x is called the zero of the polynomial. So for any particular point or for any particular number, okay, if the value of a polynomial becomes 0, is called the zero of the polynomial or the roots of the polynomial or the poles of the polynomial. All these 3 terms, one and the same. Okay. So the simple thing is that whenever we are expected to find the root of a polynomial, we equate it to 0, my friends. First. Right? Then we try to find out the value of x. Okay. So we again do factorization here, my friends. We will multiply the first and the last term, giving us 2x square. Okay. Now splitting it into 2 parts, splitting 2 into 2 parts, such that either their sum or difference, I get it as minus 1. So the only possibility that we have is minus 12 plus 1. When we add, I get minus 1. I introduce x on both the sides. These are my factors. Okay. 2x square minus 2x plus x minus 1. Right? Is equal to 0. Taking 2x common here, x minus 1. Taking minus 1 common here. 1 second. Sorry friends, this would be plus 1. I'm so sorry, this would be plus 1. Okay, so the factors also will change. So yeah, the factors also will change. Let me do it. So 2x square and this becomes let's take this also. Now we try to solve it. So okay, let's do one thing, my friends. This is 2x square. See, if I have to break this, then I must get plus 2. So minus x and minus x, right? Plus 1. Will it give me, when I add this, this becomes minus 2x plus x. How much does it give me? This will give me minus x and product will be minus 2x square. There is some problem in this. Okay. F of x is given to be how much, my friends? 2x square minus x minus 1, right? So we try to factorize it, we will do it, okay, whatever it happens to it. Let us not mind it, it becomes minus 2x square, right? So we write minus 2x plus x will give me this minus 1, okay? So this becomes 2x square minus 2x plus x minus 1 is equal to 0, right? Taking 2x as common, this leaves me with x minus 2 plus 1, this leaves, sorry, x minus 1 and x minus 1 is equal to 0. So 2x plus 1, one factor, and x minus 1 is equal to another factor. Okay, I am sorry. So I wasted some 2 minutes of your time. Now the product of this term and this term is equal to 0, right friends? So either one of them is 0 or both of them are zeros. So equating 1 by 1 to 0. So 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. 2x plus 1 is equal to 0, which gives me 2x is equal to minus 1, x is equal to minus 1 by 2. This is one of the root. Okay. X is equal to minus 1. Sorry, x minus 1 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 1. This is another root. So that means for these two values of x, that is this and this, two values of x, this polynomial is going to get 0, or the value of this polynomial will become 0. Let's try it and do it. So replacing x with minus half, so 2 into minus 1 by 2 whole square, right friends? Minus of minus 1 by 2, that is 1 by 2 minus 1. So 2 into 1 by 4 plus half minus 1. So 2, 2. So it becomes half. So 1 by 2, right? So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is equal to 1. 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. Hence verified. Putting x is equal to 1. This gives me 2 minus 1 minus 1, which is also equal to 0. So we have cross-checked that yes, these two are the roots of this polynomial. That means when we are going to place these two values in x, the value of the polynomial is going to get 0. Okay friends? So this is called the root of the polynomial. Okay. So now relation between the coefficients and the roots of a quadratic equation, right friends? So let's say quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, now we are expected to find out the roots alpha plus beta. Okay, and we need to verify that alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a, sorry, and alpha beta is equal to c by a, right? So friends, let's say alpha and beta are the two roots for this quadratic polynomial that I have taken here. Okay, so which signifies that x minus alpha and x minus beta are the two factors for this quadratic polynomial. Okay, please understand. Okay, so if alpha and beta are the roots for this quadratic polynomial, that reduces or that tells us that x minus alpha and x minus beta are the factor of this polynomial. So let's do it like this. So x minus alpha and x minus beta are the two factors. Let us introduce a constant here, okay, and which we will write as a square plus bx square plus c. Okay, now we will multiply this x square minus x alpha minus beta x plus alpha beta. Right friends? So k here, x square minus x alpha plus beta plus alpha beta. Right? Opening up bracket further, kx square minus kx alpha plus beta plus k alpha beta. So comparing this and this, we can understand that a is equal to k, right? So a is equal to k. Comparing the coefficient of x here and x here, we understand that b is equal to minus k alpha plus beta. Comparing this and this, we get c is equal to k alpha beta. Right friends? We are okay till here? Okay. So let's further continue. So these three are the important points which I will be using further here. Now, so b is equal to minus k alpha plus beta. Right friends? So which we can also write b is equal to minus a alpha plus beta. How we can write that? Because a is equal to k. Right? So it is minus b by a is equal to alpha plus beta. Right? Minus. Let me encircle it. Coming on to c is equal to k alpha beta. Right? From here. Okay? Which also tells us that c is equal to k is nothing but a alpha beta. So c by a is equal to alpha into beta. Let me try to write a little bigger so that you are able to see alpha beta. Sorry, c by a. Right? So we have got this. Now, see friends, we have found out the relation between the roots and the coefficient of a quadratic polynomial. Now friends, another important concept. Let's say the sum of the roots and the product of the roots are given to you, or the two different roots are given to you for a quadratic polynomial. How do you write the quadratic polynomial? How do you frame the quadratic polynomial if you are knowing the roots of the quadratic polynomial? So this is going to help you in future. So this is equal to x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta is the required form of a quadratic polynomial once you know the roots of the quadratic polynomial. So once the roots are known to you, you can formulate the quadratic polynomial like this, right? And once the quadratic polynomial is given to you, you can find out the roots like this, or you can basically verify and establish a relation between the roots and coefficients for a quadratic polynomial. There will be a lot of problems in future classes based on these concepts. So if any one of you want to take a screenshot for this board, I move back. Please take it now. So thank you friends. So this is all from me for this class. Okay. So we have tried to understand what is a polynomial, what are the zeros of a polynomial, what is the value of the polynomial, how many different kinds of a polynomial, right? And what we are going to learn next is that we are going to understand we are going to take a few problems and then try to solve it, try to find out the roots for those problems and try to establish a relation between the roots and the coefficient, and hence by verifying all this. Okay, so this we will do it in the next class friends, next lecture. So till the time we meet next, thank you so much for listening to us. If you like the efforts that we are putting, or if the lecture is adding some value to your life, please subscribe and like the channel. Thank you so much. Till the time we meet next, bye bye. Be happy, be safe. Thank you so much. Bye.